Well, what's up again there, guys? Brian here at 3Tier, here to bring another movie review. This time we'll be jumping into the next attempt at trying to make a video game based movie. This time they decided to tackle the Assassin's Creed franchise. And boy was it terrible. Now this movie was directed by Justin Kruzel, I hope I said that right, and stars Michael Fassbender, Jeremy Irons, and a bunch of other actors that I'm sure you've seen in other movies. Now I'm not gonna bullshit you, I'm just gonna come out of the game and tell you, this movie is not good. This continues the long chain of bad video game-based movies because, again, these people in Hollywood fail to understand what made this game appealing to begin with. I promise you, the biggest problem that I had with this film in a whole is that it takes the one element of this game franchise that has been consistently bad and decided to make a majority of the film. Now, before I begin to go into the problems, having played a good number of these games, I think it's fair to say I'm pretty knowledgeable about what this game franchise is best known for and what most fans will probably dislike about it. And that is continued here. Now, just to give you a quick rundown of the plot, if you haven't seen any of the trailers, you have Michael Fassbender's character who plays as a convict on death row, and when he supposedly dies, he wakes up in this facility captured by this organization called the Templars, and they want to throw him in this machine called the Animus, which is great design for some reason, I don't know why, and they want to use his DNA in order to venture into the memories of his ancestors somehow. I don't even know how that works. That's always been stupid in the Assassin's Creed franchise. And they want to hopefully use the memories of his ancestors in order to find this item called the Apple of Eden, which has this mystical power that allowed the Templars to destroy mankind's will and take over the world. Now, I'm going to try my best to kind of be professional about this because I don't want to get too personal. But what the film gets right is anything that involves us being in the past, when we're in the Spanish Inquisition, when we're in that area. That is when the movie's at its strongest, because that is what you came to see. You want to see these assassins being complete badasses. You want to see how they operate. You want to see them battling the Templar Order. And I can say that the performances for the most part are actually pretty good. I think my favorite character in the film was this female assassin. I can't really remember her name because sadly, one of the biggest problems I had with this film is that we spend very little time actually in the Spanish Inquisition. This movie is almost 2 hours long, and you will spend maybe 20 to 25 minutes in the past. That is how much time we spend. Now, the action, for the most part, I think is pretty impressive. It kind of does have some really odd edits, but for the most part, I think it's pretty entertaining. But it kind of ruins it because it has this really strange editing effect where the way that Michael Fassbender's character is kind of attached to the Animus, it's like he's performing the actions of the past while he's experiencing these visions. And so it does this stupid effect where it's constantly jumping between seeing him pretend like he's fighting in the present and fighting in the past. And I just found this annoying. I was just like, look, put me in the past, keep me there, don't put me in the present. Because anything that happens in the present is completely boring, it's irrelevant, you don't care. That has always been the weakest element of these games. We don't like the Animus. I have never met or know anyone who says, I want more Animus. It's the equivalent of the Matrix. Put me in the Matrix, plug me up, do not take me out unless we need to move into the next act of the film. But no, we have to constantly keep jumping around. And then these actors are so serious. There is no fun factor. And what is surprising is that for an M-rated franchise, this being PG-13, it's kind of watered down and kind of disappointing. Now, it's not to say that no one was trying, but I think that no one really understood exactly what this franchise was all about. I'm a little bit disappointed with some of these actors as for why they are in this movie. I think that a majority of them are way above this type of film. So I don't know whether they owed someone a favor, or they were bored, or they just want an easy paycheck because most of these performances are phoned in, but I was just kind of disappointed that they didn't even want to be in this film. Another thing I was really disappointed with is the fact that they even had the balls to try to have sequel bait for a possible future movie, when that has always failed in most of these video game based movies. No one is going to use this film as a jumping on point to get into the franchise. I have never heard of anyone doing that. Even the most successful franchise, Resident Evil, which thank God it is hopefully ending permanently next month in January, I've never heard anyone saying, "Oh, I want to play the games after playing them after seeing the movie," and that doesn't help here. When you have a director who I don't think really understands what makes this franchise popular, when you have a cast that just doesn't feel right, I think they just want to get some A-list actors and hopefully to bring people in, but that's kind of a cheap way because obviously they don't have their heart in it, and I don't believe that any of them really took this seriously because I think they read the script and they noticed how dumb it is. And when you spend a majority of your film focusing on everything that we don't like about these games, you have a problem. This would have been a much better film if they had spent maybe reverse the time order. Spend more time in the past and only use the present to help us get to the next act. I think if they had done that, this would have been a much more entertaining and fun movie instead of it trying to be so serious, because this battle between the assassins and the Templars is so serious with the battle of mankind that it becomes a practical joke. And Hollywood just doesn't get it. They just continue to fail to get it. You need to try to appeal. I understand that when you transfer something from a video game to a movie, you need to make some significant changes. But at least try to please one group of people. You can't please anyone. You either need to make a movie for the fans, or you need to make a movie that at least moviegoers can kind of understand, and it doesn't help anyone. Now, I personally don't recommend you see it because the theater that I saw this in, there was maybe 6 other people with me, and I don't think they really enjoyed it all that much because they were kind of always talking throughout the film, so they clearly were not really interested in the film itself. So if I had to give Assassin's Creed the movie a rating, I'm going to give it a D+. I seriously do not recommend you pay for this in theaters, but if you want to see this when it comes out, if you want to rent just to see the past action scenes, that is really the only reason to check this movie out. But other than that, this does not help our current situation with these video game based movies. It is another bad entry. Hopefully someone will finally get this down and actually prove that there are some games that can be transferred pretty well into movies. However, Assassin's Creed is not one of them. If you like this little movie rant, feel free to like, comment down below, and please subscribe to check out my future movie reviews. And like always, thank you guys for watching. You're awesome, and I will see you next time.